This episode certainly had its fair share of reveals, and I've got one question for you. Is this the best episode yet? I know I said last week's was my favourite, but this one might just top it. And what about my theory of Team being Mephisto? Stick around to find out, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We dive straight in with the Salem Seven closing in on Agatha's Coven. How are they following them? Well, in their haste, the Coven left the gate open. But then, Lila has a vision of them approaching, so they scarp her. But we find out that unlike the comics, the Salem Seven aren't Agatha's grandchildren. Instead, they're the children of the witches she killed in WandaVision. Harsh? Maybe. But let's not forget, they did tie to a stake to burn her. Salem Seven surround the Coven, but they manage to escape by pulling roots off trees and crafting broomsticks. As they fly off, this question pops up.
Why haven't we been doing this all along?
But we find out why they don't always do that, because the Witch's Road soon pulls them back down. Desperate, they run into a cabin and are suddenly transformed into 80 sleepover outfits. Takes me right back. And how does Agatha do this? With all the different outfits? No idea, but Katherine Hahn rocks every single outfit she gets. Honestly, I'm torn about which one I'm going to wear for Halloween. I might have to go full Lady Gaga with constant costume changes. Next, Teen finds an Ouija board, and this is where things get really spooky. The board spells out Mrs Hart, and just like that, Mrs Hart is back!
There I was, living my tiny life in the burbs, baking casseroles, linking into...
She's one of my favourite characters, and even better, her spirit is possessing Agatha's body. Just as I got too excited, it turns out it was a hoax, but however, I have to say, beautifully played by Katherine Hahn.
Okay. I thought that was pretty good.
Then things take a darker turn. The Ouija board spells out death, punish, Agatha. Jen thinks this is the only way to pass to death, by death to Agatha, punish Agatha. And everyone agrees, except Teen, of course, the ultimate fanboy. And this sets up a really tense moment. Then the lights go out, Agatha vanishes. And when they look up, she's Evil Dead style on the ceiling. I love this bit, it actually made me jump. Speaking of jumping, she jumps down and she contorts on her back and tries to attack Jen. But when the lights come back on, Agatha's back to normal, well, as normal as can be. Then the ghost of Agatha's mum appears, telling them to punish her by completing the Witch's Road without her. When Agatha pleads,
"Why do you hate me still?"
her mum replies,
"You were born evil. I ought to have killed you the moment you left my body."
Now that's a reply if I've ever heard one before. I might have to use that next time I get a ticket from a traffic warden.
That's harsh.
The Coven leaves Agatha behind, but her mother possesses her body once again and chases them out. Things get grim really fast. Alice tries to save Agatha by using her powers, but Agatha gains control of her body and tries to steal her powers instead. Remember this from episode 2?
Oh, I don't have time for this! Just blast me, you bitches!
Just then, the Ouija board moves again. Teen asks who's there, and the name Nicholas Scratch, Agatha's son, appears. Agatha immediately stops trying to drain Alice's powers when she hears her voice say, but then it's too late. Alice is dead, completely drained of life. That's 2 characters gone. Things aren't looking good for the rest of the Coven. The door opens, signaling the end of the trial. Teen, furious with Agatha for stealing Alice's powers, confronts her, but the rest of the Coven admits they may have done the same to get their powers back. Teen is outraged, but Agatha just smiles and drops this bombshell.
You're so much like your mother.
He's just like his mother. She's finally figured out who he is. Blue magic begins to glow in his hands, and he possesses the rest of the Coven, forcing them to throw Agatha into the mud, which swallows her up. Then, using his powers again, he throws the other 2 into the mud as well. And this is where it gets really brilliant. What a great reveal. When Teen lashes out with his powers, it's the same blue magic we see from Agatha's mum, but most importantly, from Wanda's son, Billy. As the episode draws to a close, we get a close-up of his forehead, revealing part of a headpiece which looks just like the Scarlet Witch's. That's right, Teen is actually Wiccan, aka Billy Maximoff. To top it off, we're treated to Billie Eilish's "Used to See Me in a Crown." What a brilliant ending to a brilliant, creepy episode. I thought it flew by because I was having so much fun, but then I realised it was actually a pretty short runtime. I'll admit it, At that point, I was still hoping it would all be a red herring and he would still be Mephisto. But then the trailer dropped and it made it clear this is Billy, aka Wiccan. So who is Wiccan? In the comics, Wiccan is Wanda's and Vision's twin sons, one of them anyway, Billy and Thomas. The twins aren't real in the traditional sense. Wanda created them using magic because she couldn't have children with Vision. At one point, the boys are kidnapped by Mephisto. Yay, Mephisto! Love Mephisto. Because 2 parts of his scattered essence were used to create them. This happened when he had a fight with Franklin Richards and Franklin Richards destroyed him. What a kid. I love that character. I'm going to go more into detail with this in a future video, but essentially, Billy gets reborn as Billy Kaplan, who eventually becomes Wiccan. But he kind of did it before Billy was born to Wanda. Okay, confusing. Anyway. So, did you love this episode as much as I did? Did you spot any hidden Easter eggs? And did you guess that teen was Billy? Or did you think he was Bob, agent of Hydra? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, stay beautiful, but most importantly, stay magical.